Okay. This week for Collecturbation, we are going to cover the Plasmatics Beyond the Valley of 1984, which actually came out in 1981, strangely. But anyway,
Do I need my electrical tape for this one?
if you go to Patreon, right? No, I'm just kidding.
The Plasmatics were a creation of Yale graduate and risque performant art mogul Rod Swenson in the late 70s that allegedly started when Wendy O applied for a show at Swenson's Captain Kink's Fantasy Theater in the heart of Times Square. At the very least, peripheral knowledge of this band is required for any fan of punk or metal, as this project's goal was always aimed at maximum shock value. This, the Plasmatics' second record, finds Wendy sounding much more vocally comfortable than on the grunty debut. 1980's No Hope for the Wretched. The dozens of sold-out shows that features cars blown up on stage and topless Wendy masturbating with a sledgehammer, as well as constant violent run-ins with the cops, had only galvanized their sound. Like the debut, featured songs get a spoken intro like the band is playing live show just for the listener.
You know who you are. This is Headbanger. Yeah.
The crunchy power chords, layered guitar bits, and Wendy's aggro approach seem to fall somewhere between the brawn of the New York Dolls and the finesse of the early Pretenders.
Okay.
This is a song called Sex Junkie.
Hey, we're continuing with the Plasmatics. 10 songs follow the strange intro incantation, which actually is one, I guess. It's a scant 40 minutes that flash by quickly. The styles ranging from thorny speedballs like Living Dead to the melodic power pop of Summer Night. The guitars of West Beach and Richie Stotts are straight out of MC5 territory, adorning these crackling power chords with wild bends and cool leads, particularly in the storming Nothing and the riotous instrumental, the 8+ minute Plasma Jam. Lyrics are simple and direct, save for the closer, the band's dedication to the police that have been harassing them. It's called A Pig is a Pig. It's complete with a countrified intro. It's hard to believe how little we hear about the Plasmatics these days because they were every bit as big as Blondie or Patty back in the day. I would recommend you check out Wendy's appearance and performance on the Joan Rivers show. It's on TikTok, actually. I think it's probably on YouTube also. It's around when this album came out. And you get a real sense of her shy, soft-spoken demeanor. And then when she steps onto the stage, she's totally dominating and confident. So you get to see kind of both sides of it. There's one part of it that I really like when she says to Joan Rivers something like, "Joan, I think I've always admired you, and I think that you're such an example of a strong woman." And Joan goes, "I want that body." Wendy was a devout vegetarian that never did drugs and spent the latter part of her life doing volunteer work at an animal shelter. Sadly, she committed suicide in the late 1990s at the age of 48. I think personally that if she had just held on a few more years, the age of the internet and retro festivals would have made her a huge star once again. And nobody made electrical tape as sexy as Wendy Williams. So this is A Pig is a Pig.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.